This is SportsCenter.
Not any SportsCenter, going to be the best SportsCenter ever on your Saturday AM. That's Randy Scott. I'm Gary Streisky, rocking with you for the next 2 hours leading into college game day ahead of Miami versus Cal. It's the first time in the show's history that the California Golden Bears are going to host Reese in the game.
Yeah, the assembled masses are there already. Number 8, Miami surviving last week against Virginia Tech. The playoff implication if they don't escape tonight in the Golden State. Plus another team could be on upset alert on the road. Hey, we alert you to the fact that we are rolling deep this morning. How about Heather Dinich in this hour, classing up the joint? Roman Harper from Auburn and Desmond Howard from the set of Game Day. We got EJ Manuel, Tebow, Herbie, Stanford Steve in the second hour, and we got you rocking with us. It's SportsCenter starts now.
This is SportsCenter AM.
The defending champ Aces avoid the sweep. How Vegas forced a Game 4 while Minnesota takes a 2-1 series lead behind Nafisa Collier's 26. Plus, he wants out, but who wants in? Why Devontae Adams' future will be decided soon, but might depend on some international travel. And the division series begin today. We'll break down all the storylines you need to know heading into Game 1 SportsCenter. Let's go.
Are you nervous at all for just playing in the postseason for the first time?
Nope.
Juggling grab by Holden. Grab a chair.
All right, listen, everybody's had a late night in Las Vegas if you've done it appropriately. This one was put to bed early, although we need a little extra time to get there. It's UNLV undefeated hosting Syracuse. Hadn't beaten an AP-ranked team on the road since October of 2010. Looked for a minute like they wouldn't get it, because that is Haj Malik Williams to Ricky White, the third, 3 passing touchdowns for HM Dub. And then it's Kyle McCord, though, handing off to LaQuint Allen. Allen was a menace, wrecking ball, inviting contact. 19 carries for 71 yards.
Oh!
The thing about Kyle
Golly.
McCord, though, he didn't hand it off a ton. This man put it in the air 63 times. We go 33 seconds left in this thing. Second and goal, down by 7. You got to have it. McCord over the middle, and it should have been picked.
Oh!
Jackson Woodard would have ended it. Could have gone celebrating into the Vegas night. Instead, McCord gets another chance, and he's going to find Jackson Meeks. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty. McCord taking advantage of the drop pick. Touchdown on the very next play. He had 3 passing touchdowns. Actually, has 5 straight 300-yard passing games, extending his own Syracuse record. We go to overtime. Speaking of extending this game, it's a 3-point lead after UNLV kicked a field goal. Here comes the orange. McCord looking for Allen out of the backfield. He had 58 receiving yards as well. And you think we're going to a 4th and long, but no, Alexander Whitmore. Why is he in the own surrender Cobra position? Yep, Whitmore's called for roughing the passer. We got an automatic first down. We're in tight. Look at this run from Allen. You think he stopped for a loss?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Kept it going. 2 rushing scores, 2 receiving scores. The 71 yards on the ground, the 58 through the air. Cuse in overtime, 44-41.
What a game. That was fantastic. It's Saturday morning, so you know who's here to break all things down. College football playoff reporter Heather Dinich joining the program. Heather, the Group of 5 battle getting real now for a playoff spot. Who benefits most from this UNLV loss?
Boise State, they are number 1 in my bubble watch this week, and this helps solidify that spot because now UNLV and Boise State have an even playing field, both having a loss to a Power 4 conference opponent. Boise State's loss is better, though, because it was a close loss to Oregon, which is ranked. This is going to be settled on the field on October 25th. For casual football fans, Boise State and UNLV are in the same conference. They're in the Mountain West Conference. They're going to play each other. And they also both have a common opponent in Oregon State because of that scheduling agreement with the 2 teams left in the Pac-12. So I think Boise State should be number 1 in the Group of 5 race right now after that game last night.
The only other ranked team in the Mountain West are those Broncos out of Boise State, ranked 21st overall. All right, what about the nightcap tonight on the West Coast? Miami survived last week against Virginia Tech. Some people, Randy, still questioning it. What if they do not escape tonight in Berkeley?
Their playoff hopes could be in trouble because if Miami struggles and has a bad loss and doesn't win the ACC, that resume could be called into question by the selection committee when they're competing with other contenders for an at-large bid. Now, remember, Miami hasn't left its home state yet. The selection committee likes road wins. They've got back-to-back opportunities to get them at Cal bye week and then at Louisville. But if they were to run the table and lose to Clemson in the ACC championship game, that would be their best chance to get in without winning the ACC. Any other stumbles without winning the ACC, then they could be in trouble, especially at Cal tonight.
Talking about Louisville, they don't want to look ahead past Cal, but that is right now their last remaining ranked matchup next week against the Cardinals. All right, speaking of ranked road teams this week, what's a program that could be in major trouble, Heather, if they lose?
Keep an eye on Ole Miss. If they want to compete for the national title, Lane Kiffin knows they shouldn't have lost to Kentucky at home, and they certainly can't afford to lose at South Carolina. Now, they don't have any wins yet against ranked opponents. Their only opponent they've beaten with a winning record is Georgia Southern from the Sun Belt, and they're on the road in 4 of the next 6 games, including this one. So Ole Miss not only needs to beat South Carolina, I think in order to get one of those at-large bids if they don't win the SEC, they need to have a winning record against LSU, Georgia, and Oklahoma. And that LSU game is on the road. So they've got a tough test and less margin for error because of that home loss, and they certainly can't afford to slip up again tonight.
Heather, that's it? Just LSU, Georgia, and that's it? That's all I have to do? That's it. And say, hey, good luck.
Details.
Reds, the first college football playoff rankings released 1 month from today. Heather, thanks.
All right, from that college football playoff discussion to actual playoffs in the WNBA. Game 3, the Aces-Liberty series. Aces are down 2-love. It's a best of 5. Here's Aces head coach Becky Hammond on their chances.
Anybody play poker? Any poker players? You gonna fold pocket aces? All right. We're the aces, we're not gonna fold.
Hey man, it's in the name. You got the WNBA 6th player of the year in Tiffany Hayes. You got Luka and Derek Lively and Jason Kidd in attendance, and Kelsey Plum to Asia Wilson. Oh, Asia's got range. Hello from the outside. It's 9-7 early on. Later in the first, Jackie Young giving it up, getting it back. Splashing that home, 10 points in the first quarter, most in any quarter this postseason. There were 18 lead changes in the first half. Continuing second quarter, I got Benijah Laney Hamilton to Brianna Stewart. Stewie, a team-high 19 points. Oh, we are going to knock down threes. Chelsea Gray, meanwhile, true point guard pass through the defense. How did that find Asia Wilson? No look, but at least it was between 3 defenders. Gray's going crazy. 19 points, 14 rebounds for Wilson. And then Gray...
Oh, hey.
Look at the 6 spin. Whoop. Up and under. Was it an extra step? Gary thinks so. Buzz Killington over here. Third quarter.
Playing by the rules, man.
It's Young again. Pull up 3. Bottoms. Young, 24 points. That's a game high. And then Plum is going to find Gray. Gray was just 2 of 7 from distance, but you're going to hit one when you have to have it. The Aces go up 8. Brianna Stewart said of the Aces, this is when teams are the most dangerous, when their backs are against the wall. Well, off of Gray's miss, Aces offensive board, Plum 3, 20 points. She made 3 triples. The Aces outscored the Liberty 21-6 in the third. 6 points by the Liberty, their lowest in a playoff quarter since 2006. And Vegas is running away with it. Hayes steal. She had a game high 3 of them. Gonna convert that. It's now a 2-1 series, 95 points for the Aces. They get off the deck. Chelsea Gray, this thing change anything for the series?
The minute you get comfortable, that's when you're exposed. I think you just go one game at a time. We executed this game. We executed 4 quarters, and so we start all over again on Sunday. We're still down 2-1. We haven't done anything. No game is won here tonight.
Everything was just on point, really, with everybody. I thought that was probably our most complete game of the season. It's the game I've been waiting for and believing in that they had.
I mean, you got to know when to hold them.
You also have to know when to fold them.
When to fold them. That's not a lot of people know about that last part. The defending champs would not be denied on Friday. They take care of the Liberty for the first time, actually since clinching last season's WNBA title. against New York. Nobody has been able to deny the Aces in Vegas specifically recently. They've won their last 12 home playoff games. Breaks a tie with the Monarchs and Sparks for the longest streak in WNBA history.
Also got to know when to walk away and know when to run.
Good to run.
We're going to run over to the next semifinal series. Nafisa Collier, screen left. Alyssa Thomas, screen right. This series tied 1 apiece as it shifts now to Connecticut, the Nutmeg State. Hartford has it. First quarter, Collier.
Not Hartford.
Just unstoppable. Yeah, Uncasville. Guarded by Thomas, gets the easy drop. And this is a weird predicament for the Sun to be in. They have 11 losses in game 3s when they've been in a series that's tied 1 apiece. Here comes Collier again, putting the Lynx up 12-10. Opening minutes here of the first. 4 minutes left, still opening frame. It's Collier. Getting physical here with Thomas. I mean, 2 big bodies here between the Lynx and the Sun. Collier was 4 of 14 with Alyssa Thomas as her primary defender in games 1 and 2. Team split those games. She's 4 for 4 Friday through the first quarter. Lynx were up 23-16 after the first. Matter of fact, 4 Minnesota starters were in double digits. Courtney Williams, second on the team, was 16. DeWanna Bonner letting it fly, 1,149 playoff point. Not in this game, just in her career, which is actually monumental in and of itself. Ties Candace Parker for second most playoff points all time. She'd eventually pass her later in this game, about 300 points shy of DT. Collier gets the hoop, gets the harm. The Lynx went into the break up 48-36 past Dejanay Carrington. We enter the fourth quarter. The game was close. Lynx were up by 11. Kind of contradicted myself right there. Lynx now up 13. Collier in between 4 Sun defenders. Wasn't enough. 3 minutes left. More Fee over Bonner. The Suns have now 12 losses in game 3s in series, tied 1 apiece. The Lynx can close this thing out Sunday in game 4.
Much more college football coverage on the way. Why Texas A&M potentially getting their starting quarterback back actually worries Roman Harper. Plus, Desmond Howard joining us live from the College Game Day set. Why number 12 Ole Miss could be on upset alert on the road against unranked South Carolina. And revenge is a dish best served cold. In today's slate, chock full of vengeance and payback. Our very own Chef McGee is going to cook up a meal on these dishes of revenge.
Put the world on notice who you are. We show the country tonight that we play for the brotherhood. I'm gonna light like fire. I'm coming down like killing me. I'm gonna rise like a phoenix. I'm gonna break down. Touchdown! What can't he do? Oh my! Break up your TV if you like college football. Take the time! You know what time it is!
By my watch, it's Roman Harper time. He is stationed in College Station as Missouri comes a-calling. And Rome, this Aggies defense is going to have its hands full with the Tigers. Why is it more complicated, though, than just slowing down Luther Burden III?
Well, Missouri does such a good job. First of all, good morning.
Good morning.
I appreciate you having me, guys, as always. Missouri does a great job of moving around Luther Burden. He doesn't just line up at the slot or the X, or he's at the Z, and you move him in different places within bunch formation. So you can't just design a coverage that, hey, we're going to take him away by doing this type of coverage. I don't see that happening. So what Mike Elko will have to do is, we're going to keep more defenders in the back half of the defense, play more conservative on that side of it, and tell my defensive line to go freaking hunt. You go up there, and that's why you go out there and recruit guys out of the portal like a Nick Skirton from Purdue. Mm-hmm. That's why you go out there and recruit former 5-star guys like Shamar Turner, like Shamar Stewart, that were, yes, a couple years ago, just little young pups, but now have grown into grown man problems on the deep for most offensive linemen out there. So that's what you look for, and we saw it last week versus Arkansas. This defensive line go out there and win a game for their team and securing a win with a sack fumble to close it out. So those are the opportunities that will be out there for this team today and Mike Elko and this defense.
Mm-hmm. Listen, hey, you're just warming up there in SEC country. What has you harping this morning?
Well, it's right here for this game. And the biggest thing with me is, what if, this Texas A&M team, they have won 4 straight games, 3 straight with backup quarterback Marcel Reed, 2 of those games on the road versus SEC opponents. And what if I was to tell you that they have been winning these games certain ways by playing great defense, taking care of the football, and winning it kind of like Mike Elko-ish. And all of a sudden now, Connor Wegman, the former starting quarterback, now has the opportunity maybe to start or play in this game. And I'm honestly saying I don't know if that's good. I don't like that. It could be more of a distraction for this team than actually an addition for this team. You've won for a few weeks now by doing it a certain way, and now we're going to try and change it up or maybe mess it up. I don't know if I like that. And this is a game that's so big. It's the only ranked game by two ranked teams on the schedule all weekend. And so this is a game that's too big to all of a sudden play around and want to go backwards. Let's continue to go forwards because this is a game that if Texas A&M wins, it transcends them to at least contenders type of ability. And then for Missouri, if they win it, then it is secured them as they are a real legit team and for real going forward.
Also shining and standing out this morning is Roman Harper because, all right, listen, if you're a Bama fan, you're like, why is our guy in the Texas A&M colors? And then you look at the tie and you're like, the houndstooth travels.
It's the subtle things, Randy. It's the subtle things, baby. You already know. I mean, that was a big win for us last week. I'm not harping on that, but everybody knows I'm harping on it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. More Roman coming your way, 10 a.m. Eastern, SEC Nation on the SEC Network. Thank you, sir.
What's coming your way today is also 4 DS games across Major League Baseball. The National League Division Series gets underway in Philly. Zach Wheeler gets the nod in Game 1 for the Fightins going against his former team in the Mets. New York will start Kodai Senga, who last pitched in July and will be the 3rd pitcher to ever start a postseason game after making 1 or fewer appearances that regular season. Okay. The Dodgers finished with the best record in the majors, but the Padres took 8 of 13 against LA, winning the season series for the first time since 2010. The teams meeting in the DS for the 3rd time in 5 seasons. LA won in 2020. San Diego repaid them in 2022. For more, Buster Olney joins the program. Buster, fantastic to see you. So much of the focus is going to be on Shohei Ohtani's first playoff appearance. What's the other storyline, though, in this series that we cannot afford to sleep on here?
Yeah, the Dodgers are the #1 seed in the National League, but the Padres are the hottest team in baseball. Since July 20th, they've won 46 and lost 19. If you were to extrapolate that over the course of a regular season, that's a 113-win pace. This is a team that puts the ball in play better than any other team. They have a red-hot bullpen augmented by these additions they made at the trade deadline. And you mentioned the numbers during the regular season. 8 wins in 13 games. They are not afraid of the Dodgers. I was around that team this week when they beat the Braves. They are playing with so much confidence at a time when the Dodgers are kind of dinged up. Freddie Freeman is going to start in this series after spraining his ankle a week ago. He said he's going to give it a go. We'll see how he is.
Yeah, the Padres know him. They've seen him. To your point, they're not scared of him. Speaking of hot teams, the Mets might not ever lose again. Why are they, though, taking a major gamble heading into Game 1 at the bank?
Yeah, you mentioned Kodai Senga has not pitched in a major league game since July 26. It was his only appearance during the regular season. No appearances in the big leagues in 71 days. I think this is going to be an opener strategy. The Mets are being very coy about how long Senga is going to go. But if you look at his history against the top of the Phillies lineup, Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Trey Turner, 0 for 5. On down the line against the Phillies, he's had great success with that ghost forkball. So I think the Mets strategy is, hey, today we'll just pitch Senga in the bullpen, and then we'll line up a rotation for the rest of the series.
One of the best pitchers in baseball last season, and maybe Senga alluded to that. He said, hey, if Skip wants me to go 10 pitches or 200 pitches, I'm all in either way. More likely to see 10 than 200. But, hey, Buster back in a little to talk the AL series. Buster, stick around.
Yeah, that AL Division Series is shaping up to be a doozy. Why there's major pressure in the Bronx on that man, Aaron Judge, ahead of Game 1. Hey, we'll also talk NFL football. Trade rumors in the league stretching across the pond. Why Devontae Adams is likely to reunite with Aaron Rodgers. Across the pond, isn't it? Oh, UFC 307 tonight in Salt Lake City, highlighted by 2 title fights. The main card begins at 10 p.m. Eastern on pay-per-view, with the prelims at 8 Eastern on ESPN News ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/ppv. Gary Strasky, it's time for the Saturday slate, starting with the top 25 matchup, Gary, between 9th-ranked Missouri and number 25 Texas A&M, noon Eastern on ABC. Tigers enter having won 8 straight games going back to last season. And as Gary's been reminding us all morning, it's tied with Army for the longest active streak in the FBS.
Randy, that sounded good. Who'd you say, Randy, one more time? Army. 7:30 Eastern, ABC, number 4 Tennessee heads to Arkansas. The Vols have outscored their ops, Randy, that's short for opponents, by 188 points this season. That is the second best point differential through 4 games in SEC history, Randman, only trailing Ole Miss from this season.
Gary, you've been high on this all morning. Number 10 Michigan facing a tough road test at Washington G Unit. It's a rematch of last year's national title game, and as Gary reminded us again all morning long, Michigan's won 3 straight meetings in the series, but Washington got the dub, get it? UW for Gare Bear. Wolverines in the last 2 visits to Seattle.
Randy, favorite G Unit song?
Ooh,
nope, don't have
got
time.
it.
Finally, number 8 Miami heading to Cal, the site of college game day for the first time ever. It's a 10:30 Eastern kickoff on ESPN. Randy will be sleeping. Miami seeking their first 6-0 start since 2017. They'll look to do so against a Cal team that ran, 1-25 against top 10 teams in the last how many years, Randy?
Gary, not good.
The last 20 years.
20 years,
Randy.
Gary?
By 1. Miami's explosive offense, they've been spearheaded by the play of their quarterback in Cam Ward, who leads FBS in passing scores, and he's second in total QBR. However, Cal has gotten the better award. The Golden Bears forced Ward into 6 turnovers in 2 meetings, including 4 in a loss last season when Cam was the quarterback at Wazoo.
You know, revenge is actually socially acceptable. Light revenge, of course. Someone snakes your parking spot at the grocery store. You put a shopping cart behind their car to block them in. Who's to say? Neighbor blows their leaves into your yard. You let your dog use their lawn as a latrine, or vice versa. Again, who's to say? The point is, revenge can be fun. Just ask Ohio State. They waited 5 years for payback on Iowa after the Hawkeyes derailed their season in 2017. Revenge and rivalries run deep in college football, and our chef, Ryan McGee, is cooking up more on that.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. Okay, it's only early October, so nothing's all that cold yet. But here comes some Week 6 retribution. Served up fresh off the frozen foods aisle. Like a microwave burrito of anger. Apply just a little extra heat, and it's going to explode. These days, cooking shows are all the rage. So let's take a look at the Week 6 menu of malevolence and see if you can the bear it. Nothing's fresher than this plate of potential pigskin payback.
Michigan with jubilation, Washington in disbelief of what happened.
Only 9 months ago, Washington lost to Michigan in the CFP title game. Both kitchen staffs are different now. But Husky Stadium will be stuffed with peppered people, eager to toss the Wolverines on ice like a wild salmon at Pike Place Market. Between the hedges, they're serving up sweet tea and fried green tomatoes for the Deep South's oldest rival, where there will be hot dogs after their loss in Tuscaloosa.
Intercepted! The game-saving play for Alabama!
But Auburn has been simmering low and slow since letting last year's upset of UGA slip through their grill grates.
The growth usually happens more in the valley than it does the mountaintop. But if handled the right way, I think it can make you even better.
In the 1980s, Clemson was the ACC's only 5-star barbecue joint, despite serving up that nasty South Carolina mustard-based sauce. In the 90s, Florida State came along and became master chef. Then,
The Tigers reclaim their crown.
Clemson took back the opener with 2 natties while flambeing FSU 7 straight times. The Noles returned to the top 1 year ago, but now they're 1-4. For our final course, it's a seafood versus air fryer showdown. Navy hasn't reeled in the coveted Commander-in-Chief's trophy since 2019. Why? Because they also haven't beaten Air Force since 2019. This time, a loss to the Falcons could cost the midshipmen a shot at the CFP. So, grab that nacho bowl that looks like the horseshoe, and let's dig into those Week 6 chilled dishes of revenge. I'm gunning to be the next tailgating culinary icon. Bam!
Randy, did I hear the Mids haven't beat the Falcons since 2019?
It's been a minute.
It's half a decade.
Is it? Yeah, checks out.
Wow.
Although today that changes.
Okay.
Mids over the Falcons.
Okay,
Yeah. We didn't pick that game for this, though.
Yeah, you know what time it is, speaking of this? It's the financial freedom portion of the program.
Yeah.
What? The generational wealth building portion of the program.
What?
What? This is not financial advice portion of the program, and that we have to say.
It's an important disclaimer that we have to get into. It's important to get your information on time.
Yes.
As soon as other people know, you should know. These are our picks. Okay, we're going to pass on our picks in real time. How are we doing? Thanks for asking. Gary, 6 games over 500.
Thank you. How many? 6?
6 games over 500. I'm 2 games over 500, which is to say the Gare Bear is rolling. Our guy, Tom McKeon, though, stellar 30-20.
Golly.
In our show's Pick'em League, he
should
is
do
on
this for a living.
Absolute fire. But the Go for Dose picks are important. We're going to come back to that. I didn't ask Mr. McKeon for help with these. Instead, I just decided to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, hence the Vandy pick.
Come on.
Maybe that's a letdown spot for the Tide. I don't know. I think Miami absolutely puts it on Cal. South Carolina just might derail the Lane Train CFP hopes today. They might win outright. And Tennessee can probably pick its number in Fayetteville.
Oh.
Sorry, Woo Pig. But I'm trying to keep the Go for Dose perfect on the season. What? 5-0 perfect? Yes.
That's
so
impressive.
I'm going back to the Clemson well. Tigers have turned it around after the season opener against Georgia. They've been crushing teams. They delivered on a big number last week. Yeah, they were at home. This week they're at Florida State. We know the Noles struggles. Okay, don't be fooled by the win over Cal. I like the Tigers to keep it rolling again, maybe today by 3 touchdowns.
Way too many people messaged me and were like, Gary, I'm tailing your picks, and now I owe too many people a lot of money. Like Randy, I'm also picking Vandy here in this matchup against the top-ranked Tide. I'm going to get to it here in just a minute. That's a little foreshadowing as to who my Go for Dose is. And since we're talking underdogs, I am picking Northwestern, Randy's what?
Alma mater.
That's right.
Okay.
Against number 23 Indiana. The Cats 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games as a dog. Did you take?
I hope I'm wrong.
Okay. My Go for Dose. I called it a tease. Vanderbilt not. They are 2-2 this season. Those 2 losses, yes, they hurt. But last week against Missouri, a top 10 team that they took to double overtime. Listen, am I saying Bama's not going to win? Of course not. They're going to win. But 24.5, that's a pretty big number.
It's a lot, buddy.
Go for Dose is brought to you by Dos Equis. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Divided we weak, together we strong, baby. Last week ain't this week. It's something on a different level. You cross that line, you make a promise to the guy next to you. Play me the guy beside you and find a way to win a football game. What a throw! Touchdown! And a beauty from the rookie. Let's go! He will go all the way! Let's turn it up! We got a lot of weeks left, and it ain't gonna stop.
Week 5, buckle up, cue the music. Randy Scott saw Jeremy Fowler and said, oh, you must be here to give us the Merlot down. Which I said, you are also here to sommelier some information about this guy right here, currently in the silver and black, but the trade deadline, about a month away, and you're saying that's probably not going to be the look he has in the second half of the season. What are you hearing?
Yeah, teams around the league, they want a good Cabernet. Devontae Adams is certainly that. So I've talked to multiple league execs who believe that the Jets will be heavily involved here. The Jets are in London right now worrying about their game with the Vikings. But this is a trade league-wide that could heat up as early as next week because it seems pretty clear that Devontae Adams could have played his last game as a Raider. He's expected to miss this week. He's got the hamstring issue, maybe back next week. But the team's going to try to shake out this trade. I'm told the Saints are monitoring. You got Derek Carr, the connection there. You have some other teams involved. I've talked to some teams around the league who expect Washington to maybe be a sleeper there. I would be surprised by that based on what I'm hearing because they have a young core. but certainly they have a need at receiver, so we'll see how it shakes out. The big key here is the $17 million, nearly $17 million in salary, all guaranteed. That's nearly $1 million a week. Most teams do not budget for that in week 5, week 6 of the season. So they're contemplating how much will the Raiders cover that salary to facilitate a trade.
Okay, so it's imminent, the trade deadline November 5th, so likely going to happen. That's going to get an answer soon. Another big question we have injury-related, Anthony Richardson, what are you hearing about what he's dealing with there in Indy?
Yeah, tell to somebody close to Richardson who expects this to be a game-time decision.
Okay.
You know, he wants to play. It's a matter of functionality. Can he be himself running and throwing 100%? It's not a situation where that oblique injury can worsen, so that's the good news. Pain tolerance, functionality, so the Colts will monitor him today, see how he feels. The key is, though, Joe Flacco took a lot of the reps this week, so he's positioned to play. But they have not ruled Richardson out. Richardson has not ruled himself out. There's still a chance here, but Flacco got a lot of the reps. Typically, that tells the story.
Also had 2 touchdowns coming off the bench. The Colts got the win. Their next 2 at the still winless Jags and at Tennessee. So you can take your time, Anthony. Heal up. No, J-Bone's with us all morning.
All right, back to the college, guys. When we come back after a loss last week, number 12 Ole Miss seeking a bounce back at South Carolina. Still ahead, though, why Desmond Howard says the Rebels could be vulnerable again today.
They have gone international. They have gone coast to coast. They have never gone to Berkeley, though, until now. For the first time ever, game day rolls into Cal for the Golden Bears. The 105th different city, the 82nd different school to host the program. And you know why Marshawn Lynch is going to be there. That man is going to be the guest picker later this morning. He's about his chickens. The gates were open. You can start lining things up at midnight Saturday morning. The kids and students saw that. They kicked the gates down, and they wanted to be the first to stand behind Dez and get rowdy there at Memorial Glade. Dez, you've been with Game Day forever. This is the first time at Berkeley. Set the scene for us, man. It's 4:40 in the morning, West Coast.
Yeah, man, it's 4:40 in the morning. On my way here, I saw a 6-point buck just walking down the street. I thought I was going to be late, but we made it. But these kids, man, they broke down the barricades at midnight because they wanted to make sure that they were in place to see Desmond Howard's MVP at 4:42 a.m. Love this crowd, my man. I can't wait. This is crazy.
Dude, it seems 400 student capacity at Memorial Glade. I see students lining up the wall behind you right there. They showed up and they showed out for the MVP, which, listen, this is their first time, so let's make them privy to it. It's the matchup to watch, the vulnerable team, and the player to keep an eye out for. Dez, run it.
Okay, the matchup to watch is, hey, why is Game Day here? Because Cal is going to host Miami, 10:30 Eastern on ESPN. You can check out all the action. Cam Ward has been as good as advertised. He's having an incredible season right now. This guy has accounted for 20 touchdowns. He brings energy. He brings juice. But Cal's defense, third in total D in the conference, only allowing 287 yards per game. They're 12th nationally in scoring defense. This is going to be a hell of a matchup, Cal versus Miami, the vulnerable team. Last week, we saw Ole Miss at home fall to Kentucky. That guy right there, Jackson Dart, was under pressure all day long because the offensive line has had their problems. And you're going up against South Carolina, who has Kyle Kennard and Dylan Stewart on the edges. I don't know, guys. This trip to South Carolina may not be a good one for Ole Miss. I tell you what, they might get their quarterback back, Lenore Sellers, and they're coming off a bye. The player to watch, linebacker, Cade Uluave for Cal. This man is 6'1", 230 pounds, and I tell you what, he's all over the field. He has 32 tackles, 14 solo tackles, 2 TFLs, an interception. And when you're talking about a quarterback like Cam Ward, who you know is a dual threat quarterback, He will run the ball at times. I think Cade could be a guy in this defense who can spy Cam and make sure that he gets to him because he's fast and athletic enough. But the other thing about Cade that I love is he always finishes. He can bring Cam down to the ground. And that's my MVP.
And Des, that's how you play to the home crowd right there. Because the Cal faithful behind you, they're lined up, they're ready to go. This is a 10:30 p.m. Eastern time kick. So it's an all-day affair out there at Berkeley. It's more Des and the rest of the game day crew right after this, 9 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN. Des, much appreciated.
What a vibe there. Hey, the scenes in the American League Division Series starting up today. Going to be electric as well. Let's start with the Guardians and the Tigers. They're meeting in the postseason for the first time. These two franchises have played 2,326 games in the regular season. That is the fourth most between two teams before playing each other for the first time in the postseason. Then there are the Yankees. They're sending Garrett Cole to the mound for Game 1 against the Royals. He was last year's AL Cy Young Award winner. He has allowed a home run in 9 straight postseason games. Michael Wacha getting the nod for KC, his first postseason start since 2015. Buster, we assume the assembled masses, the adoring crowds are just off camera, right? Just they're in the room. They're just off camera for you.
Yeah. Stand back. All of you, stand back, please. I'm trying to do my work.
Not now. I'm trying to work. All right, Buster, let's talk about Aaron Judge and the work that he's not doing. He's batting just 143 in his last 3 postseason trips. Why, though, does the pressure go well beyond him?
So I think, Randy, there's a theme in the American League playoffs, and it's going to be passive aggression, okay, with the way that the managers are going to handle the stars in these series. First, if you're Matt Cotraro, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, you are going to do everything you can to make sure that Juan Soto and Aaron Judge don't beat you after this incredible year that Judge had, 58 homers. So the guys behind Judge, Austin Wells, Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, they're going to have opportunities to do damage. And let's face it, they're going to have to do damage. During the course of the year, Judge was intentionally walked 20 times. That was the most in the big leagues. I would expect that to continue in this series.
Passive aggression, huh? That's how you want to phrase it. In the other AL series, Jose Ramirez batting .347 against Detroit this season. How are the Tigers approaching him and this Guards lineup?
Right. Jose Ramirez is the Aaron Judge of the Cleveland lineup. During the 2022 and 2023, he led the majors in intentional walks. And there was a game earlier this year that A.J. Hinch, who clearly is aware of Ramirez's presence, intentionally walked him 3 times. That was back on July 9th. So the key is for the guys behind Ramirez to get something done. And on top of that, the Tigers, I think, are focused also on taking the guys off the base. Steven Kwan, Andres Jimenez, who bat in front of Ramirez, because that's where protection comes from a lot. The guys in front of Ramirez need to get on base to give him the opportunity to swing the bat. Otherwise, they're going to pitch around him.
Tigers are so hot right now. Red hot. A.J. Hinch said, I don't know, but somebody let these Tigers get hot. All games on ESPN Radio today. That's Buster Olney getting us ready. Thanks, Buster.
SportsCenter rolling on. The Golden Bears seeking their first ACC win in their first home game in their new conference. Still ahead, how Cal's offense can take advantage of Miami's defense. Also coming up next, the Not Top touchscreen.
America's game has gone global here in Ireland.
They're going with the Rudy was offside slant again.
Rudy was offsides.
The only thing that can stop us is us. Whoa!
That questions academic eligibility, if we're being honest.
Whoa, you ain't got to do all that.
Hat!
Give me 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Go Tigers.
I'm recognized all over the world now, but my greatness came and started in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's one of the greatest cities in America. Louisville is the greatest. Louisville is the greatest.
That was Muhammad Ali showing love to his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, following his Rumble in the Jungle knockout of George Foreman, which happened 50 years ago this month. The Louisville Cardinals will be honoring their hometown legend this week while wearing these sharp new alternates. The numbers and letters on the jersey are all gold, as is the Cardinals logo on the helmet. The front bumper contains the 502 Louisville area code, also in gold, and other gold features are sprinkled throughout the look as well. The University of Connecticut is raising cancer awareness with personalized Block C ribbon decals on their helmets. Players will get to choose a colored ribbon that corresponds to the specific cancer that has affected them. There are 12 options, including pink for breast cancer and purple for all cancer. The Air Force uniforms this week against Navy are special. Special Operations Command, to be exact. The exclusive Special Ops component of the Air Force will be honored throughout these uniforms, starting on the helmet, where its official emblem is featured prominently. The front bumper contains the combat control motto, "First There," while the back bumper highlights one of the 3 parts of the Special Operations Command motto, "Any place, anytime, anywhere." The letters AFSOC are on the back nameplate of every jersey, and on the left sleeve, there is one of 3 different badges representative of Air Force Special Tactics. The "First There" motto makes another appearance down the right leg, while the left leg features a dagger, a symbol of Special Operations.
Yeah.
Sick, dude.
Cool uniforms to lose in. The battle for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy begins today when Navy heads to Air Force in those fancy unis. Navy 4-0 for the first time since 2017, looking to start 5-0 for the 3rd time in the last 40 seasons. Gary, the Falcons, though, have won 4 straight against the Mids.
We're taking a look at December 14th. Army versus Navy. Reigning trophy holder Army, though, playing their first game in the series versus Air Force in November. Randy, somebody is about to have a bad day.
We are here at the SportsCenter Not Top Touchscreen. We're all about football.
Yes.
And that includes football of a different variety.
That's right.
Right? Now, where do you think we are?
It's coming home. Well, I know very many Koreans named Sun Lee, so I must say, South Korea?
I think this is actually in Europe.
Okay.
That's my guess. But
Pretty
we're in
close.
stoppage time. Point this out. Can you get up here and touch this, bud?
I can. All right, dude.
We're in stoppage time.
Brag about it.
Just get up there. You've got the 4-way stretch.
Yeah,
So we're going to play this on. The ball is down here, played in, and it's going to kick around. It was actually the goalkeeper who fired it on.
Yep.
Okay, keep an eye top of screen.
This is a sellout crowd.
Throwing it on net.
Oh!
What happened? Now, the keeper's name is Elon Melier.
Okay, so any relation?
To whom?
Just generally anybody?
Well, I was going to say first names are often not related. Any relation to Gary Sinise? So this thing comes on. That was the first Gary I thought.
Yeah.
That was the first. Well, the second.
I generally go with Clark.
You're the first.
Yeah.
Ball's in here.
Okay,
want to show you the field level angle as this thing hits. It didn't hit anything on or about the pitch.
Well, here's the
although
thing.
the keeper is pointing at it, and that's what is hilarious. This is a classic keeper move. The keeper move is to look at the general vicinity of where the ball went squarely.
But can we focus on the fresh fade? This dude was looking prime.
He had it
time.
high and tight.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it looks
But
nice.
this right here, bang. It goes off of his teammate's head.
Off his skull.
That causes this thing, this ball, to spin in an odd direction.
Which now gives us
and then
the
takes
answer
a little
to our original
scooty
question.
scoot.
If I may.
But hold on, look at his teammates right away. But the ball's not even in the net, and we got multiple surrender Cobras right here, impending, already going.
Yeah, that's
a
weird.
And then
surrender
one
Cobra
little
first
thing.
day.
People were like, that was such a bad match. This is moments after the match. I don't know, man. I got this as a smile. I got this with the opposing manager.
Someone's cooking the books.
Opposing manager. That thing evened up the match.
Nothing to accuse.
7 minutes into stoppage time. And now Elon Melier.
Any relation?
Is talking with the. Again, I don't think first names are often related.
Just in generally, I'm sure he is related to somebody.
Do I have Randy Travis on speed dial? Yeah.
Forever and ever, amen.
Amen.
What is a hauler? Check out our upcoming lineup this afternoon. Number 5, Georgia, hosting Auburn between the hedges on ABC. Tonight, UFC 307 main card begins 10 Eastern on pay-per-view. Our Week 5 Monday night football matchup, Saints versus the Chiefs. And we have an NHL opening night triple dip on ESPN, including the defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers hosting the Bees Kid.
This is SportsCenter.
Sure is 8 a.m. here on the East Coast, properly caffeinated on SportsCenter AM. Gary Streisky, Randy Scott alongside on this glorious Saturday morning.
It's a stacked hour we have for you on SportsCenter. Tim Tebow going to be joining the program from College Station. How the Aggies' backup quarterback in Marcel Reed has looked like their starter. Maybe should be these past 3 games. Plus, Kirk Herbstreit joining us live from College Game Day. How Cal's defense can pressure Miami's Cam Ward into mistakes tonight. And he wants out, but who wants in? Well, Davante Adams' future will be decided soon, but might depend on some international travel.
Yeah, we're actually going to start the program in Vegas, in that building where Davante Adams currently cashes his checks. We got UNLV undefeated hosting Syracuse. Syracuse hasn't beaten an AP-ranked team on the road since October 2010. Haj Malik Williams finding Ricky White III, less than 3 minutes to go. To go-ahead touchdown. HM Dub, 227 through the air, 3 scores. Over a minute to play, Syracuse 4th and 1. This could have ended it for UNLV, but look at LaQuint Allen breaking a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Big game for him, as a matter of fact. 19 carries, 71 yards. Kyle McCord didn't hand it off a ton. This man put it in the air 63 times. That's the second most attempts in program history here over the middle. This could have ended it for UNLV. Jackson Woodard. I mean, there's a reason he's playing defense. Not offense. Hit him right in the hands. Golden opportunity to end it the very next play. McCord back on his horse, back through the air. Jackson Meeks, touchdown. Great adjustment from Meeks. Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty. 5 straight 300-yard passing games for McCord, extending his own Syracuse record. We extend this game to overtime. UNLV kicking a field goal in the first OT, so down 3 are the Orange. It's 3rd and 20 for the Orange. And McCord is drilled. It's a short gain, so it's 4th and long. And no, it's not. It's actually a first down because Alexander Whitmore, you can't spell Whitmore without hit.
Oh.
Drilled McCord. So it's roughing the passer, sets up 1st and goal eventually for the Cuse. Oh, Allen is stopped. Allen is not stopped. What a tremendous run.
Does not skip leg day.
What a tremendous run. 2 rushing scores, 2 receiving scores. Syracuse by 3 in overtime. Heather Dinich, what does UNLV loss mean?
Boise State, they are number 1 in my bubble watch this week, and this helps solidify that spot because now UNLV and Boise State have an even playing field, both having a loss to a Power 4 conference opponent. Boise State's loss is better, though, because it was a close loss to Oregon, which is ranked. This is going to be settled on the field on October 25th. For casual football fans, Boise State and UNLV are in the same conference. They're in the Mountain West Conference. They're going to play each other. And they also both have a common opponent in Oregon State because of that scheduling agreement with the 2 teams left in the Pac-12. So I think Boise State should be number 1 in the group of 5 race right now after that game last night.
Hey, Heather mentions that loss to Oregon. Still undefeated, number 6 in all the land, playing a little Friday night football, hosting Sparty. First quarter, scoreless, 1st and goal for the Ducks. Dylan Gabriel, keeper, 9 yards around the corner, laying the shoulder, laying the boom. That's what we do. Oregon on the board, 7-0 midway through the second. 2nd and goal for the Ducks. Jordan James, 3 yards, cash. Oregon up on Sparty, 14-0, 10 seconds until the half. 3rd and goal. Let's spin it. Gabriel, Evan Stewart, 9-yard score. Dylan Gabriel moves into 3rd for most career passing scores in FBS history. He trails Kellen Moore and Case Keenum, 2-1 respectively. Oregon, they're up 21-0. Dan Lanning joined the program yesterday on 2 p.m. SportsCenter, and he was paying respects to Michigan State. He didn't really have to. They're up 24-0. Scratch that, make that 31-0. Tez Johnson. Sparty would get on the board, but Oregon wins easy, 31-10.
All right, get ready for the debut of ACC After Dark. The nightcap out west. Number 8 Miami in Berkeley against Cal. Cam Ward keeps his Heisman campaign rolling after last week's scare at home against Virginia Tech. But beware these Bears. You hear that, Ed? Bears. Now you're putting the whole station at risk. Cal beat him last season when he was out at Washington State, sacked him 6 times, forced 3 fumbles, and picked him off late. Scary quarterback stuff. Our quarterback, never scared. EJ Emanuel's with us. EJ, tricky spot for Miami. These Bears are 3-1 for a good reason. Where should Mario Cristobal's Hurricanes be wary today?
Good morning, Randy. Well, they have to be wary on the defensive line, and this is a big issue for this Miami Hurricane team because last week against Virginia Tech, they gave up 206 yards rushing on the ground, also 2 touchdowns, and a lot of that came from them showing 7, 8-man fronts where they were trying to show all out, and then if one linebacker or one safety misses a tackle, you have a big gashing run like you see right here. So Cal's running backs, Javian Thomas and also Jaden Ott, who was an All-American, are both primed and ready to have a big game. But I do know Miami gets Ruben Bain, their All-American defensive end, back this weekend. So that's going to be huge as well, just to set the edge and make sure they get some of those runs back inside to where all the help is.
Yeah, Miami's generous on the ground. Through the air, though, possibly a different story. So, EJ, let's spin it forward. Who do you have in your manual today?
Well, look, Randy, last weekend I was in Dallas, and I got a chance to watch SMU's quarterback Kevin Jennings for the first time in person, unfortunately against my Seminoles, but he is going to be in the manual today. And one of the things that I thought was great about this young man is, again, a little inexperienced, but the vision in the pocket. He doesn't freak out. He doesn't panic. And then he attacks the line of scrimmage, which allows those receivers to uncover in the scramble drill. Right here, watch the matchup. And this is where the greatness of Rhett Lashley, the head coach, and also the offensive play caller, goes to work. You're going to bring a linebacker out here, Blake Nicholson from Florida State. He can't cover R.J. Hampton. This is a mismatch every single time. And Jennings does a great job of catch, set, throw, get the ball out, and allow his tight end to cook. And right here, again, flex this running back out. Find the coverage. Find the man-to-man, or if it's zone right here, you know you have a one man-to-man situation here. I love that Kevin Jennings stays and hangs in the pocket. You let the double move develop, and then you get that ball up and out to your running back, Rashad Smith, to go up for a big catch. He also had a lot of yards on the ground. And right here, no, this is not the same play, I promise you. This is another matchup, finding R.J. Hampton, and throws a seed right here to the back shoulder of his excellent tight end. So he's going to have to bring this back again, Randy, because they play a really good Louisville team who also is probably a little bit upset because of their loss to Notre Dame last weekend.
I was going to say Louisville is angry, and they are smarting, and we'll see what that translates to. More of this man, ACC Huddle, 11 a.m. Eastern on the ACC Network. EJ Manuel, thank you, sir.
4 remain. Only 2 can play for the WNBA title. That includes the defending back-to-back champs in the Las Vegas Aces, though they were on the ropes heading back to Vegas, down 0-2 in this best-of-5 series. Kelsey Plum, she doesn't want to go home. Aces catch fire in the third. Take a look at the graphic, top right of your screen. The Aces run is now 5-0 thanks to a Chelsea Gray triple. Last game, in Game 2, only 2 Aces starters got into double-digit scoring, including Asia Wilson, your unanimous MVP. She had 24. They woke up a little bit, did Las Vegas, because 4 Vegas starters were in double digits. Tiffany Hayes gets the lane, and then Megan Gustafson hits Plum for the triple. Aces were up 69-53. No team in the history of the WNBA best-of-5 playoff series has come back from down 0-2. The Aces ain't dead yet. They get a win, 95-81. So the defending champs would not be denied Friday, beating the Liberty for the first time since clinching last season's WNBA title against New York. Nobody has been able to deny the Aces in Vegas recently, winning their 12th home playoff game, breaking a tie with the Monarchs and Sparks for the longest streak in the WNBA's history. Meanwhile, the other semifinal round, the Lynx beat the Sun 90-81 as that series shifted from Minnesota to Connecticut Friday night to take a 2-1 series lead. Behind Nafisa Collier's 26 points and 11 boards, Minnesota rolling early, shooting 59% from the floor in the first half against the WNBA's best defense. Okay, so that series also 2-1. Tomorrow, going to have both Game 4s in the best-of-5 WNBA playoff semis with the Liberty and Aces squaring off 3 Eastern on ABC. Then on ESPN, it's the Lynx taking on the Sun. New York and Minnesota are up 2-1, looking to move on to the WNBA Finals. WNBA Countdown tipping our coverage 2:30 Eastern on ABC.
All right, back out west when we come back. How about number 8 Miami, one of the best offenses in the nation. But Kirk Herbstreit will join us live from game day to break down what they have in store for the Bears tonight, ACC After Dark. In Tennessee, they've lost their last 3 visits playing Arkansas in Fayetteville. Team Tebow on where Taylor Green can test the Vols defense today.
What to watch for is brought to you by Harbor Freight. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
What to watch for across college football today. This is actually the only ranked v ranked matchup. 9 Missouri taking on number 25 Texas A&M, noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. The Aggies looking to start 3-0 in SEC play for just the second time since joining the conference back in 2012. They're hot right now. So hot right now. Speaking of, Tim Tebow running clean, sometimes runs hot a little bit, joining us from Aggieland this morning. Hey, Tim, Aggies quarterback Marcel Reese, he stepped into the starting role the past 3 games, all 3 Aggie wins. How do you assess his early play?
Well, he's a young man that can really do anything. He can beat you from the pocket. He can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his mind. But one of the things that they really need to do to help him is get this running game going. And it's something Colin Klein is so good at. He's done it for so long as a player and as a coach. Look at this double wing QB counter, pulling the guard, pulling your backside tight end with an RPO on top of it. He's got the option to throw it. He's got the option to run it. This is a ridiculous creativity by Colin Klein. And also Marcel Reed is athletic enough to be able to do it. Here, you got a 3-way go. You can give it, you can keep it, but look at what it does to the safety with the hesitation. Marcel sees it. Oh, he's getting clipped a little bit. That's an easy walk-in touchdown. So it's a great job by Colin Klein and his design, given Marcel Reed easy answers that he also can use his gifting of his athleticism, of his whippy arm and his legs, and they're putting him in some really good situations.
Redshirt freshman, you see the stats right there, 6 passing scores, 0 interceptions. Guy is playing on a nuclear level right now. Meanwhile, the Vols head to Arkansas. 3 FBF offenses Tennessee has faced this season, all ranked outside the top 100 in total offense. Enter now Taylon Green in Arkansas. Where is he going to give this Tennessee defense fits?
Well, one reason they're outside the top 100 is because they had to play Tennessee, and they've been that good this year. They're getting after quarterbacks, and they're doing it at a high level. But what Taylon Green does is all you have to do is look at last week's tape. In the 3rd play of the game, he scrambles, breaks, 70-yard touchdown. Like, this kid is an unbelievable athlete at 6'6". He's someone that's one of the fastest guys on the field, no matter what field he's on. So you have to keep him in the pocket, especially when you're blitzing, you're bringing pressure, and you're playing man-to-man coverage, which Tennessee likes to do. You have to be able to keep him in the pocket, because if not, all of a sudden it could be a touchdown on any play.
6'6", 230, 5 touchdowns, though susceptible to give the rock away. 5 interceptions so far this season. Maybe the Volunteers take advantage of that. Before you go, the Heisman fight loaded as the calendar turns to October. You got some experience making some trips to New York. Who's someone standing out to you through the first month of this season?
Well, listen, I think Jalen Milroe standing out. I think Cam Ward is doing a great job. I think Travis Hunter is playing at an unbelievable level on both sides of the ball. But if I have to go with my winner right now through September, I'm going with Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. This dude is unreal. Through 4 games, 845 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's what everybody's going to talk about. But I want to talk about what nobody's talking about. Through 4 games, 21 broken tackles, most in the FBS. Oh, and by the way, the most ridiculous stat I've seen this season, per rush, 5.7 yards after contact. That means every time he gets the rock and you hit him, he's going another 5.7. That's a joke. This kid is ridiculous. I want everybody to see that stat, 5.7 yards after contact. Like,
it's
Gary,
insane.
I don't know if you've ever gone 5.7 yards in your life. He's doing it every play after contact.
That's kind of hurtful, Tim. I'll forward you the Thornton Trojan game tape on me. It's not that impressive. It's pretty short. It's like a vine. More Tim ahead, 10 a.m. Eastern. Burning clean energy this morning down there in Aggieland, SEC Nation on SEC Network. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, man.
Oh, it's time for a Saturday flex check. Who better to do that than our own, the illustrious Liz Loza, who's been stacking wins in this segment, by the way. If you've been following her advice, you probably got some fantasy football wins of your own. You're going to give us some fantasy players people have to get into their lineups this week. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with Christian Kirk. He had a slow start to the season, but his involvement ramped up after week 2. He currently leads Jacksonville in looks, having drawn 22 over his last pair of games. That's allowed him to clear 15 fantasy points in back-to-back efforts. Consider the slot man a top 25-ish fantasy receiver in a matchup against the Colts, especially if Indy slot corner Kenny Moore misses a second straight game. Speaking of missing games, Christian Watson was knocked out of week 4, which helped Dontavian Wicks find some spotlight. Wicks drew a team-high 13 looks last Sunday. He converted 5 of those balls for 78 yards and 2 scores. With Watson expected to sit, Wicks should deliver flex-worthy fantasy numbers at Los Angeles. Finally, at running back, Justice Hill has been thriving as a complement to Derrick Henry. He's only seeing about 4 rushes per game, but he has been involved as a receiver. Hill is currently second on the team in targets and catches and ranks 3rd at the position in receiving yards. That should work out well at Cincinnati, as the Bengals have given up 19 of 20 looks to opposing running backs. Consider Hill a top 30 running back for fantasy purposes heading into week 5.
Yeah, Derrick Henry may have gone for 199 yards last week against the Bills, but Hill actually led the team in receiving, 6 grabs, 78 yards and a score. And now a Bengals matchup that could turn into a track meet. That is Liz Loza winning you fantasy matchups on SportsCenter.
And still to come on this very hour of SportsCenter, Herbie joining us live from College Game Day, how Cal's defense can pressure Miami's Cam Ward into mistakes tonight. But first, a message from Heinz. It has to be Heinz.
Ketchup, in my opinion, it's the epitome of where art meets science. Everything from flavor to color to texture is scrutinized. Am I a ketchup nerd? Absolutely.
Gary Bear and the Rand Man with you at SportsCenter AM. We got a must-SC. Come on. Because the NHL regular season actually started on Friday. That's goalie Jacob Markstrom, Devils debut. Got him from Calgary back in June. Look at this save late first period. What? How did that stay out?
Show it to me again.
Oh, paddle save.
Oh.
Reaching back. You shall not pass. Here's how NHL analyst Kevin Weeks reacted to it.
Jacob Markstrom. No, you didn't. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, he did.
He looked like Roger Federer with that one. Reaching back with the rocket. And already in game 1, we have a save of the season candidate.
Needs more energy.
Markstrom, 30 saves. First time he's allowed fewer than 2 goals in a season opener. Devils go on to win 4-1.
All right, we're back here stateside. All right, from the opener there in Prague to a preseason tilt between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. The ones, they're chilling. Former co-worker, now Lakers head coach J.J. Redick, ready to rock. Dante DiVincenzo plays for the Timberwolves.
Okay.
He's going to start. Julius Randle's going to sit. DiVincenzo, ooh, going up and under through the paint. T-Wolves up 6 thanks to Agent Zero. A minute later, DiVincenzo going to drive and finish. You saw that. And then it's Bronny James getting his first minutes. His pass stolen, though. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's going to get it. Luke Garza gets the board, puts back the layup. It's okay. Hey, man. It's his first preseason NBA action. Obviously got all that run in Summer League. Bronny blocks Rob Dillingham, and then in transition here, kicking it out to Rui. Bronny had 2 points. He was 1 of 6 from the field. Hansy down there at the baseline also had 3 blocks. Actually, a pretty nice line. 7 minutes to go in the third. Dillingham crosses, gets it to fall. 21 points. T-Wolves up 14. Next Timberwolves possession, man, they have some high expectations up there in the Twin Cities. Terrence Shannon Jr. flying. What? Terrence Shannon Jr. T-Wolves get the win, 124-107.
All right, UFC 307 is tonight in Salt Lake City, highlighted by 2 title fights. Main card begins at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's on pay-per-view. The prelims are at 8 Eastern on ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus out there in Utah. To order the main card in English and Spanish, you go to espnplus.com/PPV. A little farther west, good morning, Berkeley, California. Don't need to get up early if you never went to bed. For the first time in its history, College Game Day has found its way to the East Bay. The Bears trying to take down the Hurricanes. Miami has to play cross country for a conference matchup with these Bears. Illinois, Maryland, Rutgers, SMU, Syracuse, and Virginia, the only Power 4 conference schools who have not hosted Kirk Herbstreit and the crew, because Cal is very much off that list. Don't tell this breakfast burrito-laden crowd what time it is because they don't care. And we watched Kirk Herbstreit getting mic'd up. And one of the things we love about our guy is the enthusiasm he has each and every week. But it takes a little bit for Herbie to go, wow, as he looks at the crowd. And we saw you looking out, Herbie, going, wow. Set the scene for us.
Dude, I just got here from Cincinnati. I was at my son's high school football game. I didn't know what to expect. Ben's here. He's down on the field, seeing the crowd. I didn't know what to expect. You think of Cal Berkeley. I mean, do you think of crazy college football fans? I think of Eugene, Oregon. But this is absolutely well beyond my wildest imagination of what we'd see here. It's 5:30 in the morning here, and it's as far as you can see. A sea of humanity. So we are incredibly humbled and honored to be here with College Game Day. Thank you guys all for coming out, man. This is cool. Like I said, I slept for a couple hours. I'm ready to go. Has a human ever gone from Cal Berkeley in an election year to Fayetteville, Arkansas the same day? That's this guy right here today.
Yeah.
So I'll report back after today.
There might have been a guy back in '92 from Arkansas who might have made a similar trip. I don't know. Let's talk about this Bears defense, though. They got Cam Ward, and Cam Ward had 5 touchdowns in that win over Virginia Tech. But there's familiarity here for Cal because Cam Ward continues to turn the football over, something he did against the Bears last season. What can Cal do to pressure him tonight?
I just love this. They're just going crazy just to go crazy. It's going to be kind of that kind of scene, I think. They're just partying. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll last. It's a 7:30 local, 10:30 kick tonight. So hopefully they have that stamina. But you're right. I mean, it's a team that, they've been tested. Cal's got a lot of confidence. If you don't know, Justin Wilcox is one of the best defensive minds to me in the entire country. When he came in here as a head coach, he brings a very sophisticated scheme. They lead the nation with 10 picks. They have seen Cam Ward a couple times when he was out of Washington State, so there is familiarity. I think it's really about trying to get him out of rhythm. He's one of the best quarterbacks we've seen this year in improvising, trying to make plays. And they'll have to tonight because they're going to dial up some pressures and see if Xavier Carlton or Teddy Buchanan can come up with some picks. Like I said, they have 10 picks on the year. Very opportunistic defense. They're going to be trying to get after him, create those turnovers.
I'm a little bit concerned for Stanford Steve when he has to go out there in front of that crowd. If they're that amped up, you put a Stanford guy out there, we'll see.
Oh, Stanford.
And I'm not.
Stanford Steve is a dead man. He's a dead man out here today.
Now, I'm
not one of these Stanford Steves sitting over there.
I'm not trying to put any booze in motion here, but I do have to ask you about the Hurricane offense. Is it strong enough on that side of the football to carry them tonight?
I'm sorry, the crowd's got me here. Is which side of the football?
Miami's prolific offense enough to carry them tonight, Kirk?
I think that's the reason we're dialed into this football game is good against good. I think that one thing, it's Cam Ward gets a lot of attention, and he should, but Mario Cristobal building this thing up slowly and methodically, to me, it reminds me a lot of when Miami had to build it back up back in the mid-'90s coming off of probation. It took time for Butch Davis to do it the right way. And then they had that on the back end 2001 and 02 and 03. But that thing started in 95, 96, 97. And it reminds me a lot of what he did, what Butch did back in that era. People have been a little bit impatient. They want to see it faster. But I think Cam Ward's getting a lot of attention. But if I'm these guys, I'm concerned about every position around Cam Ward. Damian Martinez gets a lot of attention, Oregon State transfer, but they're loaded at receiver, at tight end. So it'll be a heck of a matchup. Like I said, good against good. Miami's offense against that Cal defense will be fantastic.
Do not, if you're in that crowd, don't let Miami take you out of it early. That happened at the Swamp. I got to believe these fans are in it for the long haul because, as you said, Kirk, 7:30 local kick. Yeah.
They're in it for the long haul.
And they better hydrate.
By the way, I got a full report. I got a report here. Come here, friend. I want everybody to know. Look at this. This is my friend Reese Davis. Look at tie he decided to wear.
What are we doing?
I mean, what the heck is going on here?
What are we doing?
Did you purposely wear a... Reese got his Stanford tie on, dude. Stanford.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Take it off. Take it off, Reese. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off.
Let's go!
What a unit. It's going to get up to 95 degrees in the Bay Area today. Let's see how the fans hydrate and show out tonight. 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 local, as Cal tries to derail a perfect season and maybe a Heisman campaign for Miami and Cam Ward.
The "I thought this was a protest" sign is king in my book. Trade rumors across the NFL stretching across the pond. Coming up, why Davante Adams likely to reunite with Aaron Rodgers. What? Also, coming up, fire him up.
America's game has gone global here in Ireland.
They're going with the Rudy was offside slant again.
Rudy was offsides.
The only thing that can stop us is us. Whoa!
I question his academic eligibility, for being honest.
Whoa, you ain't got to do all that.
Hook. Hat.
Give me 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Go Tiger. Oh, we're back. The music is back. So too is Jeremy Fowler back like he never left, and that's because he actually didn't. He pays rent here. He
I sleep in a suit.
lives right off the set here. Is this guy going to be back in Vegas once the NFL trade deadline expires come November 5th? We got a month. What are you hearing?
No, the feeling is he'll be traded. And I've talked to multiple league execs who believe the Jets will be front runners here eventually because of the Aaron Rodgers connection, that they'll try to get this done. It's week 5. The Jets are in London right now playing. There's certainly nothing imminent. So things could heat up with the Raiders in the next week or two. You know, I've talked to teams who think that, the Commanders could be a sleeper here.
Sure.
You know, I know the Saints are at least monitoring the situation. Teams are trying to figure out how much of Davante Adams' nearly $17 million guaranteed salary will the Raiders cover to facilitate a trade. So if they can cover maybe half or a large portion, could expedite the deal in the next week or so.
He is, of course, the headline name at wide receiver, but certainly some others garnering some interest. Teams will certainly be calling on. Who are you hearing about in the wide receiver category?
Well, look, a lot of teams need receiver. If they don't want a high-end shop for Davante Adams, there are other really good options that teams could at least call on.
God,
you see Amari Cooper there, still really good. Do I think the Browns are shopping him right now? No. But he's got a very attractive salary because when they reworked his deal this offseason, only $1.2 million is on the books base salary. So a team could get him on the cheap. Only 30 years old, still a really good player. So I do expect teams to at least call on Cooper, field that market. The Browns are 1-3. They continue to struggle. Who knows? Deontay Johnson, he's been balling in the last couple weeks for the Panthers. He's Andy Dalton's top option. Now, teams are at least on high alert here because they believe if the Panthers continue to struggle, they could be in seller's mode. And Deontay Johnson, only 28 years old, $7 million salary, fairly reasonable for a guy who can be your receiver 1, receiver 1A, really good player. Then you got DeAndre Hopkins. So, look, the Titans came off a win last week against Miami.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really want to sell pieces off right now. You know, Hopkins is a guy they really like. They gave real money to. But he's been a top guy for a long time.
Sure.
He's only 32, which, he's still playing at a pretty high level. The knee injury he had early in the season, he's come off that. $8.3 million salary is a little high, but look, the Chiefs wanted to sign him a year ago badly. They just didn't get it done. We know they need a receiver because of the Rashee Rice situation. Maybe they at least make the call.
Those are some names. I mean, you said not top shelf, but Cooper, Hopkins.
That ain't clearance rep.
You have exquisite taste, sir. Jeremy Fowler breaking things down. NFL trade deadline a month from today.
All right, from top options to top plays, these catches didn't even make the cut. See the plays that we deemed better than these. Top 10 coming at you. Plus, if you're looking to, win a little money, you've come to the right place. Stanford Steve in enemy territory is handing out some of his best bets for Week 6. As Miami and Cal prepare to face off in this ACC After Dark clash, we go inside the locker rooms to get them fired up, as only we can.
In the morning on my way here, I saw a 6-point buck just walking down the street. I thought I was going to be late.
You must be here to give us the Merlot down, to which I said you are also here.
I'm not harping on that, but everybody knows I'm harping on it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. What with the opposing manager.
Someone's cooking the books.
I want everybody to see that stat. 5.7 yards after contact.
You shall not pass. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Take it off. Let's go. What a unit.
The Rowdies in Berkeley.
Yeah.
You heard me right. The Rowdies in Berkeley. The fun starts 7 a.m. Eastern right here every single Saturday.
We got Fire 'em Up coming your way in 7 minutes time. For now, though, we got 10. Top 10. 10. I give it a 10.
Take it off. All right, top 10, here we go. Celtics, Nuggets, preseason opener in where? Abu Dhabi. Jaylen Brown, midseason form, well rested. Said he leaned out and added muscle. And I was like, wow, dude, what's that like? Sick brag.
Michigan State and Oregon at number 9. Dylan Gabriel to Trayshawn Holden. Holden is falling down while making this catch. Take a look at that.
That's crazy.
He's on his back. They don't call him Trayshawn dropping.
Yeah, for sure.
It hit him in the face mask. I'm glad he caught it. More from this game coming up.
Women's field hockey, Dartmouth versus Brown. Oh, just a bunch of underachievers. Lucy Adams tries to hit the corner of the net, but Isabel Andrews, the sliding stick save. Is that snow on the ground?
No. It better not be.
It can't be.
It better not be.
It is. Could be New Hampshire.
NBA number 7, Timberwolves Lakers. Max Christie dunking on Terrence Shannon Jr. What a dunk from Christie. More from, what's that one?
Not Terrence Shannon, Christie.
Nice. Oh, that's good.
Back to Michigan State, Oregon. Again, Dan Lanning joined the 2 p.m. SportsCenter yesterday. He predicted, well, he didn't predict this. Malik Spencer. He said Sparty did have the playbook on him. Coach is familiar with them. Fantastic interception, though, by Spencer.
Let's go on Frozen Pond, Rangers Isles. Great chance for the Isles, but Igor Shesterkin is there. Is this a stick save? Hold on. No, the stick is in the net,
But
so it's just
still the season.
It is the season of the sticks. That's true. I've been told.
How many times have you seen him?
3 times. I call it a Noah concert. No big deal.
Washington, Iowa. This on the rally. Katie Wessels kicked it to keep it alive. Washington gets the point. I learned that today. You can kick the ball.
You can kick it.
You can kick it.
Can I kick it? Yes, you could. Number 3, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, Mike Franklin.
This is awesome, dude.
Somehow emerges from that massive humanity.
Dude, the bros were just there helping him out.
Mike Franklin looks a little like, seeing that 3-4 in those colors, like, what number did Ron Dane wear? Was it 3-4?
Was he? I thought it started with a 4. Was
Oh,
it a 33?
33?
Yeah.
All right, we're close.
Mr. Devers confirming.
Got it.
All right, number 2, Chelsea Gray. Golly, no look to Asia. Around Stewie. Splits 3 Liberty defenders. Nice. And the Aces keep their season alive with the Game 3 win. Mommy.
Number 1, regular season, NHL. Sabres, Devils in Prague. Look at Jacob Markstrom. Already a save of the year candidate. Paddle save, stick save. Emma Beauty. First game of the year. Devils, 4-1 winners because Jacob Markstrom stood on his head. Not literally, that may have been higher in the show. Hey, saw some social media video. Crowds just swarming the College Game Day setup out in Berkeley this morning. It's a long time coming for the Cal Bears. Their first time hosting College Game Day. Didn't happen during the Marshawn Lynch era, not during the Aaron Rodgers era, not the Jared Goff era, but today in the Justin Wilcox era. That all changes. Stanford Steve is the man that you have to listen to, even though chances are he can't hear us because the crowd is so loud out there. He's 6-0 in his past 3 weeks with us on this show. And Steve, you've been making money going against Kent State. They're off this week. So who's the team we can bet against?
Well, the only team Kent State is worse than in total defense and scoring defense is Ball State, Randy. Ball State's 133rd in both those categories, giving up 49 points a game. So who they playing? Western Michigan. We'll take Western Michigan minus the 10 on the road in Muncie. Western Michigan's shown some capability on offense. Tough loss to Marshall last week. We're going to lay the big number with Western Michigan.
Don't be afraid of a big number against a bad team. All right, Duke, meanwhile, feeling great after that comeback win over North Carolina. So why then is Georgia Tech the play today?
Because the line makes no sense, Randy. Duke, you mentioned it. Yeah. Huge comeback win last week against North Carolina. They're undefeated. Georgia Tech comes limping in off a bye. The last time we saw them was against Louisville, where they lost by 12, and they're giving 9 to Duke. I'll take Georgia Tech. Yeah. The offense has been very, very consistent. They live off a yak, yards after the catch. And Duke, the one thing I looked at, is third in the ACC. They have 61 missed tackles, or second in the ACC, 61 missed tackles. So the big plays for Georgia Tech are there. We'll lay the 9 with Georgia Tech.
I can hear the chant behind you. I do want to remind the folks at Cal where you went to college. It's time for Stanford Steve's Cardinal Sin. Steve, where are you staying away today?
Listen, I know the axe is here now, but when I was in college, that axe never thought about coming over here. 4-0 against these guys when I was here, but that was a long time ago. We're going to have a blast today. Don't worry about it. Cardinals in today. UCF absolutely humbled last week against Colorado at home. They had everything they wanted with Colorado coming in, and they got embarrassed. And now they're going to the swamp, and they're favored against Florida, who's a team that we've talked about ad nauseum about the pressure on their head coach. And they're an underdog. I don't want anything to do with that game in Florida. A lot of tension in the swamp today.
That line stinks. Let's remind the people again. Cowboy caller, Stanford Steve, 4-0 against Cal. Not saying, just saying. Game day with that man ahead in mere moments. Thank you, sir.
Making our guy a marked man.
No.
College football Saturday upon us. 8 AP top 10 teams in action starting noon. On ABC, Mizzou, they've won 8 straight, tied with Army for the longest active streak in the FBS. Yes, Army. While the Aggies look for their second 3-0 start in conference play since joining the SEC in 2012. UCLA, Penn State meet for the first time since 1968. The Nittany Lions, they've rushed for 200 yards in all 4 games, leading the conference with over 250 yards on the ground per. The Deep South's oldest rivalry renewed when Georgia hosts Auburn. The Bulldogs, fresh off their loss to Bama, have not lost back-to-back games since 2018. What about Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz? Goes for career win number 200 against a tough Ohio State team that leads FBS in scoring defense and second in total defense. The new AP number 1, Alabama Crimson Tide. They've won 23 straight games against Vanderbilt, the 3rd longest on-field win streak by any team against a conference opponent in SEC history, 24.5-point favorites. Tennessee on the road at Arkansas. The Vols average an FBS best 54 points per game, leading them to a 4-0 record and a top 5 rank for the first time since winning the Natty back in 1998. Michigan travels to Washington for a rematch of last season's national championship. The Wolverines lead the all-time series 9-5, working, but have lost their last 2 trips to Seattle. And finally, Miami. They're out west in Cal. The Hurricanes, 247 points are the most by any FBS team this season and the most through 5 games in the program's history.
That line is coming down, and maybe those fans are a big reason why. The assembled masses in the pre-dawn hours out there in the East Bay. It's been a long time coming. The first time the Cal Bears have hosted College Game Day. They're fired up. It's time for us to fire up the teams.
Hey, let's go! Tonight, men, leave nothing. Leave nothing. Burn it all.
That man next to you is somebody that got to have it today. Every play counts.
If they hide, you pick them up.
Blow by blow, chop by chop, you strike them, you knock them down.
This man, pride, hit the pride.
What more do you want?
You are diamonds. Go be diamonds tonight.
Everything you got for 60 minutes. That's how you finish.
Where the hell are we? This makes no sense.
I'm no cartographer, but this makes no sense.
Has the ACC ever seen a map?
East Bay,
Biscayne Bay,
NorCal,
South Beach. Whatever, man, I guess that's what the ACC stands for now. All Coast Conference. And the West Coast, full of some weirdos.
Comrades, today we work toward the common good, the collective win.
We have been collecting wins all season. Now they want some of our spotlight? Typical. We do all the work. They think they're entitled to the shine.
We're the shiny new toy in the ACC. Hey, we're off to our best start since 2019.
They're ranked 13th in the conference. I didn't know we had that many teams.
This is where their undefeated record comes to die.
How do you spell that last word? Interesting. Hey, let's make them wish we never diversified this conference and included those hippies from the Bay Area.
Ooh, I hear there's a Heisman Trophy campaign at stake. Yeah, there'll be a Cam in pain.
Cam Ward revenge game loading. What do we even know about their team? How about this? Their best offensive drive was 18 years ago on a medical card.
The driver of their offense was sacked 6 times, gave up 2 defensive touchdowns, and threw a late pick the last time he was here. And now he's back for more.
It is intercepted, and the Cal Bears win it.
They're going to run left. They're going to pass left. They're going to lean left. And that's all right, because we're leaving here with another win. From Little Haiti to Coral Gables. Give me 60 minutes. Go Canes.
We're going right through them. We're coming straight at their head. It's brains versus Canes. We're going to hurt Miami more than global warming ever could. And that's a dang shame. Okay, because beach erosion is real, and it hurts everyone, especially the turtles. From Oakland to Sacktown to Bay Area and back down, Cal, show me love. Give me 60 minutes. Go Bears.
I just feel like beach
I don't think
erosion.
we're going to be invited out.
I don't think you are. The fans are ready. Game day is ready. From the East Bay on ESPN.